Before I get to further detail in this video, I want to make it clear I'm not here for validation. I'm not here to just share my personal business just to share it. No, me sharing this video is to help those who are going through custody battles pretty much with the other parent who is a non-healthy parent and a parent who has narcissism. So I'm just basically sharing that how it is to co-parent with a difficult parent. Now, I am not a professional therapist or who can diagnose. I don't do that. That's not my place. But I'm just showing the patterns of behaviors that I've been documenting for years, and it's just my time to really share my story of what I've been dealing with. So that is the purpose of this video. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it simple as possible because there is a lot that's going on in my custody case with the other parent, but I want to make sure I worded it correctly. We are still in court cases. We have another court hearing. I have another court hearing with the father January of next year. We just had mediation today and nothing was resolved. So I just want to make sure that I keep it, keep it together. Let me go back a little bit about my past relationship with the children's father. I'm bringing it up because it's been brought up a lot. Yes, I have to keep talking about it. I don't like to talk about it, but I have to because most court professionals, you want to know history about why are we here in the first place, pretty much. Deep breath. So yes, there was a history of domestic violence. I'm not going to go specific because it's difficult to talk about it, but yeah, there was a history there. If you don't know what falls under domestic violence, do your research. Of narcissism, there are different types. What I experienced with the children's father was the covert kind of narcissism. This particular kind is very subtle, very disguised, not visible. Do hide the abuse. There won't be visible scars or marks. That wasn't my case. Like I said, it happens a lot behind closed door, and when he's in the public, he puts on this persona that he's a good person, he's a good father, just save face for the people in the public, his family and all of that. But behind closed doors, he's a monster. So I want to add in too as well is that in my experience with the children's father, he will go out and help other people, help strangers. But when it comes to me and our children, I don't get that support or help from him. I never did. It was more like I was a single parent in the relationship, which I was. Don't victim blame me for choosing these men. I don't go out choosing these types of men. There's narcissism in all colors, all races, all sizes, and they do not show these behaviors the first hand. They're really good at hiding it. That's why it's very important to get to know the person more better, and that's what I'm learning through my experience. And also, I am an empathetic person, and I do have a vulnerable side, and most narcissists feeds off that empathetic and that vulnerability. After my grandma passed, I moved to California. A few months later, down the road, I met the father. So 6 years ago, the father and I ended our relationship. We was together for 5 years. We have 2 beautiful children together. I know some of you are aware of who those children are. Good for you. But yes, those are my babies. My relationship with the children's father, when we were together, it was great at the beginning until after I got pregnant. That's when all hell broke loose. This was after I found out I was pregnant. So once you get pregnant or something, they got you locked in. So I was basically in. After I found out I was pregnant, that's when the red flags start showing. You know, he would call me out my name when things don't go his way or belittle me. And it got to a point where I wanted to go to school. And he told me that no, you're not going to go to school, you're going to work. I was just saying to myself, why can't I do both? Why can't I work and go to school and do that at the same time? Because I wanted to go to school so I can better myself. But he was like, no, that's not the case. So it got to a point where it felt like I can't make decisions and speaking all those red flags at the same time, so I left. That was the first time I left him. I ended up going back. Basically, he told me, you know, I haven't given him a chance to prove himself. Here I am, a stupid decision. I gave him another chance. This was bad. He started cheating on me. And he's already out partying with his friends. Smoking marijuana, stay out late, come back home, smelling like marijuana. You name it, he was doing it. Meet other women, and I called it. Looking for women to come meet you at such and such place. Supposed to be on a trip for work, and that's why he went out of town, basically cheating. Fast forward a little bit. In our restraining order hearing, he brought up that he sort of kind of cheated. And I'm just saying to myself, there's no such thing as sort of kind of cheated. You cheated. During the relationship, the father expressed thoughts about self-harming himself. And he also expressed to me that he regretted cheating on me. But the cheating still continuing. He didn't regret it. But I still held him accountable for it. And that is why he was having thoughts about self-harming himself. It was very scary and it was an uncomfortable situation to be in, but I stayed. I stayed because I didn't want that to happen. I knew it wasn't definitely probably work related. It was probably seeing women. Cheating happened. The sexual abuse happened. Yes, when I mentioned there was sexual abuse, what I am saying is that has happened during my relationship with the children's father. It starts with the R and ends with the E. And that happened the first time because I was on birth control. I did not want to get pregnant again because I knew what type of person he was. I felt forced to get my IUD out. I didn't want to take my IUD out because I didn't want any more kids with the father. And my daughter was supposed to be that only child from him. But I found out I was pregnant with my son. And how I found out I was pregnant with my son, my mom knew. My mom knew I was pregnant with my son. I didn't know. But I found out through my mom. And I was like, you know what? Let me take a pregnancy test. Yeah, you're pregnant. Ta-da. And yes, and this is the time that I left the father again. But my son, he's a blessing. And I'm so thankful. My boy, kids are a blessing. And I'm just thankful for both of my children. I was still pregnant with my son when I went back to the father. Like I said, I kept taking him back to the point he was like, okay, well, maybe you like what I'm doing to you. And the last time, I'll never forget what he said. I took him back another time, and then I said I was going to leave again. He was like, you're not going to leave, and if you do leave, you're just going to come right on back, which is true, because I kept giving him chances after chances. But later on in the video, you will see the final straw. During my relationship with the children's father was when we were in the room and he was on top of me. I was pregnant with my son. I'm laying down on the bed. He's on top of me. His body weight is pressing against my pregnant belly, and I'm in an uncomfortable position. He has his body weight pressed against mine. He's holding me down, pushing against me where I can't get up, where I can't move. He's mad with me because I would not have with him. It starts with the S, ends with the X. And he was on top of me in his body weight, and he was holding me down, pushing against me, where I can't move, where I cannot get up. He balled his hand into a fist and slammed it against the pillow next to me. Our oldest child unexpectedly walked into the room. He got up. When he closes the door, I just bawled, cried. I was scared. And at that moment, I just knew things had to change. Something bad happened between the father and I. And to make up for it, he will buy me a big old vase of flowers. Buy me gifts. It's just his way of saying, oh, I messed up, but you have to accept my wrongdoing of what I did. This is pretty much what narcissists do. You have to accept my wrongdoing, my fuck ups. They abuse you, they use gift to cover up the abuse. When the father has been cheating on me, I lost trust. I lost trust in him, and I had trust issues. So when he be sleeping, I would take his phone and I will use his face to get access to his phone, or use his fingers to use his PIN code to get access to his phone. So I would have access to his phone, but he switched it up later after I discovered some stuff on his phone, but was able to get access to his phone. And how they say, when you snoop for stuff and you go looking for stuff, you don't be surprised what you see in that phone. And yes, I was surprised. I saw naked photos of women, could possibly be teenagers. I want to say that word, but it starts with the P and ends with the Y. That's exactly what I saw on that phone, and it's very disgusting. It's disgusting. The thing I want to talk about is the reckless driving. When he gets upset and angry with me, or if he doesn't agree to something I say or do, or if we have like an argument or a disagreement, especially when I have been pregnant and was pregnant, and during my pregnancy with both of my children, he would drive reckless. And I was scared. I'd be scared, especially when you're pregnant and you have that nausea of sickness of the way he drives. And I had that when he drives reckless. It's very scary because I don't want to lose my babies. No one should be driving like a moron. It's very dangerous. It's very scary. And again, I stayed. With my first pregnancy with my daughter, I did have complications, and I had to have my daughter early, because if I didn't, she would have been stillborn. And I was so scared as a first-time mother, and I literally, left my prenatal appointment and went straight to the hospital. I had like heat flashes. I will pass out sometimes. It was just bad. My nose would bleed. Can't eat certain things. I felt like I wasn't eating enough, or I was dehydrated. Yeah, and I felt like it was really the stress with that relationship, and I did not want that. I went straight to the hospital, and I had to have her early, and it was a long labor too. And yes, I got an epidural because there's no way I can have given birth without no epidural or something stuck in my back. So yeah, I can't do that. But she was born, and she was born so light, just like me when I was born. But I think she was born an ounce more than what I was. But I'm just thankful for her, and she's just the most sweet, beautiful child ever. For the pregnancy with my son, I had a great pregnancy with my son. Not saying that, the relationship with the children's father got better. It was not better. I'm just speaking of the pregnancy itself. it was a good pregnancy because my son just likes to eat and I could eat anything. And I was so hungry all the time. So I was just happy that my son would just eat anything and I would not get that much sick at all. And you know, he came, but he got stuck back in the canal, and I call it the canal, but you know what I'm talking about. He got stuck back in there like he didn't want to come out, and I'm trying to get him out, and he won't get out, and I'm trying to do my best to push him on out. But he finally got out, and I was just so happy. He was just the cutest, chunky little baby ever. Things in my relationship with the children's father has not got better at all. It's just got worse. Another thing I want to talk about is that people who are abusive, they do want to isolate you as well. And during my relationship, I will never forget, always be jealous of my best friend. He's my daughter's godfather. He is always there for me. The children's father was just jealous of him, and he told me, like, oh, I don't like your friend, and I think you should not be friends with him and stuff. But I told him, no, I'm not going to stop being his friend because you want me to. And I'm thankful that I didn't listen to him.
My daughter's godfather and I has been friends, and he's been in my life before I met the children's father. And he was just jealous of our friendship, and there was no way that I'm going to end my friendship for him because he's uncomfortable. He accused me of cheating and sleeping with him with my daughter's godfather, but that wasn't true. He will accuse me of doing these things, which it is known that himself is doing these things. And this is to deflect responsibility and to avoid being held accountable. This is all about shifting blame and having control.
Another thing I want to add, he made me get rid of my cat. I had to get rid of my cat that I had. And till this day, I don't have a pet. Like, I don't think I can get another pet because I miss my pet that I had. I had a cat and her name was Princess. And guess what? He has a pet now with his partner. And the dog named Princess. You see that? To this day, I still regretted it. And when I took my cat to the animal shelter, the lady told me, and she was like, you're gonna regret it one day when you drop your cat off. Of course I'm gonna regret it because I had no choice to. But at least I know the cat would be in a better home because I'm sure the cat wouldn't be great in this toxic relationship. So I did what I could, what was best. And I wasn't happy about it, of course. I was sad. But I also was pregnant with my daughter at the time, too. And really, when you're pregnant, you can't really be around cats either. But still, you know, that was still my cat. And I didn't want to get rid of her. But I had no choice to. And at least I do pray that my cat Princess is safe out there, wherever she are. Before I flee, I talked to my boss at that time about the situation I was going through. And I asked for increased hours. I was going through the program that they have for their workers to get the help they need. And I did that. I got increased hours so I can move out, getting my ducks together while he was seeing other women doing whatever. And when that time come for me to move out, he came in because he wasn't coming home during the holidays. And this was around Christmas after we had that big, huge blow up fight where the cops had to come and talk to both of us. So there was 2 police officers. One was black and the other one was Hispanic. The Hispanic, of course, took his side and the black officer took my side.
It started because I questioned his whereabouts, where he been, why he's not spending the holidays with his family and children. Yes, things got physical between the father and I, but I won't go in specifics. And then it resulted in me reacting to what he did to me. He started recording me, showed this video to the Hispanic officer, And he was talking about he could press charges against me if he wanted to, but the father did not press charges against me. I am the one who's been abused, but when I reacted to his abuse, I'm the one in trouble because I end up grabbing something to defend myself.
He was just letting me know, just try to wait it out for the holidays. You'll be out of here, it would get better soon. It would get better. You'll be out of here soon. And I'm thankful for that because he woke me up. I needed that because that was the time that I was supposed to be leaving. So I had to wait it out until after the holiday breaks. And this was around the same time. It was around Christmas time. So once the cops left, they talked to both of us. He was out seeing other women and stuff. He didn't come back home until 5, 6 in the morning. And just wasting time, not spending time with his kids for the holidays. And then, I see all of that. And then at the time when it's time for me to leave, he came to me, which is the children's room, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the room with the kids, and he come in, he sat down, whatever he sat on, and he looked at me. He was like, I'm seeing someone else. And he had this smirk on his face, a smirk that I fucking hate. So he had a smirk on his face, and it took a lot of me to keep my emotions together. It did, because I had my kids right there with me. And you know what I told him? I told him, congratulations. I am happy for you. And I let him know that me and the kids will be leaving tomorrow. Tonight is our last day. We'll be out of here tomorrow. And that is that. You went in the other room, his room. And I'm not about to be upset, arguing with you. You made your choice. I made my choice. Your choice is to see other women. My choice was to leave. And I did exactly just that. I left. I want to add in, before the time that I moved out, he had our landlords turn against me. Next thing I know, they would not talk to me. They would not speak to me. They just didn't like me anymore. And I was just like, wow, I never did anything to these people. I was nice to them. The children's father definitely had our landlords
Turn against me. Around this time, he helped his sibling move into the same building complex as we were living. When I brought it up to his attention, he told me that he doesn't have to tell me anything. So I just accept what he said and left. I also walked into a conversation he was having with his partner, calling me loco in Spanish, which means crazy in English. His family dynamics normalize unhealthy behaviors. They are always competing with each other, they're jealousy, they always have drama. It was just so negativity. And it was very important for me to go no contact with this family because it was just unhealthy. I want to add, when I was pregnant with my son, I did got in a confrontational with the whole entire family. It was just like his whole family against one little me. Then one of his siblings was trying to physically attack me while I was pregnant, but I had to defend myself. His godfather had to come and get me out of that situation, so I'm definitely thankful for him. We'll run into members of his family in different locations, and I was just like, wave. You gotta smile through all the bullshit, right? Going no contact with this family was the best decision that I could ever make for my mental health.
I moved out, and I'm just thankful that I did move out because it was a relief. It was a relief to just get out of that environment. And then once I left, I got myself in therapy. I got the help that I needed. I had so much going on with me. I had depression, I had anxiety, I had PTSD. I wasn't myself. I was a totally different person, but I knew I needed help. I knew I needed help because I had to get it together for my kids. I had to be strong for my kids. And I just could not live like that anymore. I was like a shell. I wasn't myself. It's like everything was stripped away from me, and I was just this unhappy, miserable person. but I did everything I could to be happy. But that relationship sucked the life out of me, and that's just what it was. I felt like I had nothing else. It was a feeling that you just don't want to ever feel. So I got the help I need. I got it therapy. I moved into my own place. I felt things were going great for me and the kids. I left the children's father, but the post-separation abuse still happens. They call it post-separation abuse. This is why it's important to do your research. That is when things get worse than what it was in. And I always tell myself, is it worse to stay in the domestic violence relationship, or is it worse to leave and still deal with the post-separation abuse? And I feel like both is worse, but it's more safer if you leave and get out of that relationship. But the abuse still continues to happen. It does. Nothing gets better anyway. But the stalking started happening. And even my landlord at that time, my landlord would tell me about what's going on. And I'm like, wow. It got so bad to the point where I just gave in. I was like, you know what? Let me invite you over to my home and let's see if we can work this out. And I was like, you know what? Just come on over. It's almost Christmas holiday again. Come on, spend time with your kids. Let's see if we can co-parent. Let's see if we can work to get this together. But it just wasn't getting together. I remember when I invited him over and things didn't go his way and what he was requesting, he called my place a hellhole.
But yeah, he would storm out the door, and I'd be like saying to myself, I am not following behind you. Shut the door behind. That's it. Bloop.
He would come into my home and tell me about this partner that he was seeing, not the current one now. Like, he will vent to me about his relationship with his partner, who he was seeing during our relationship at that time. And I will feel sorry for him. I will feel so sorry for him based on what he's telling me was really a messy situation in both of us. And because it eventually turned into a triangulation where we end up get ready to fight each other, going at each other's neck over him. This girl will tell my kids that she's the new mother and all this stuff, and I will have to talk to him about it. I'm like, hey, I'm the mother here. No one is going to take my place.
I say this because at this time we are separated and we live in two different households. When the children returned to me, they expressed to me that their daddy's partner told them that they have two mommies, and I had to reassure them and let them know that they only have one mother, and that's me. I did brought this up to the children's father, but what he does best is denies it.
My son got injured over there. He had a dash on his forehead. He had to get stitches. His father ended up leaving the hospital, and he left. He just left. Because he took him to some bomb hospital that has really bad negative views, and people die there. So I end up taking my son to a better hospital.
And yes, I waited over an hour just hoping my son can be seen, and my son was never seen. And I listened to this lady advice because she was there. She saw my blood dripping out of my son's forehead. I took her advice, got up, and just looked for a hospital, a better hospital that I could think of. And I found one for my son, and he was seen immediately. During this time, I still did not have any contact with the children's father family, but none of his family had reached out to me to see how our son was doing, which is another reason why I go no contact with this family.
So I was stuck with my son there, and I make sure that my son was able to get stitches and get healed. He would bring his partner girl over to my house. He would bring her over to my house. So disrespectful. Talking about, oh, that's my sister. No, that ain't your damn sister. That's your woman, and you playing both of us. I know that's not your sister. I'm not stupid. I got in the car with him because I took him out for lunch, I remember. And a woman called. And he's like, oh, shh, be quiet. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? I just took you out to eat. and I paid for the food. We was having a relationship with both of us at the same time, and I didn't know that until the girl was almost about to fight.
Our children was present and we both made a fool of ourselves. To me, I felt they both had traits of narcissism. I'm happy my kids and I don't have to deal with her anymore, but she ended up dumping him based on what he told me, and I ended up fleeing, so I ended up leaving.
I had to sit back and reflect on that. When you love someone, you're thinking that we are working together to get our family back, because he was talking to me, he's talking to her. He's seeing me, he's seeing her. And I didn't realize it until I caught it with my own eyes. And that is when the confrontation happened. And I was just like, you know what? I can't do this no more. You just not being honest with me. And this is not healthy for our kids. I am done. I don't want to do this no more. Not only I'm dealing with stalking and all this stuff, my landlord was supportive. He was there for me through all that. He was very supportive when I was going through that. I have left the father a few times, many times, just put it that way. The last time I left, I never looked back since. So we had an on and off relationship because I left. It takes a lot of times to leave a domestic violence relationship, but I did. I left the final time and I haven't looked back since, and I don't want to look back. I had filed for a child support, and I won't discuss dollar amounts. I won't do that because, like I said, it's just certain things that I just don't feel ready to discuss, and I don't think I should discuss that though. So that's when I filed the child support case, because we could not reach an agreement. When we did had an agreement in place prior to me filing a child support case, I never received anything. Not $1, not 50 cents, nothing. So that is why I filed the child support case to, hey, I need to help support our children. And I gave him grace. I didn't just put him on just to put him on. I gave him grace, so many chances. We even have an agreement in place at that time, but I never received anything, so I had to do what's best for my children. Did it open doors to more abuse? Yes, it got bad. The father filed the court case. I moved. I didn't know the court case was filed until I got an email from the child abduction unit. And I'm like, what is going on here? What is this case? And then I found out the father filed, talking about he couldn't locate me, he didn't know my phone number or anything like that. And I was like, he was just talking to the kids on FaceTime. He know my email. He knows my phone number. If you don't know my contact information, how you able to talk to the kids on FaceTime? It was my son's birthday, and he did call because I have a witness. My sister was right there, and she even say hi to him when he was talking to the kids.
Eventually, I found out that the child abduction unit was the district attorney office, and they reached out to me, inform me about the court case that the father has filed. This was very scary. I flee domestic violence for my safety and my children's safety. And at this time, he has a new partner. And I still feel to this day that she had entered herself into this situation to save him or help him. And it just caused more hell than ever. And eventually I will have to move back to California because I didn't want to lose my kids. The triangulation behavior patterns that I experience continue to happen. This cycle of abuse just will not stop, and he continued to enter his partners into our situation, including our custody case. Now that he has his new partner in the picture, she's going to be present everywhere, including court hearings, custody exchanges, you name it, she's there. Keep in mind, he hasn't made the effort to have contact with his children. Our son's birthday was the first time that he called. That was his choice. His choice was too busy focused on relationships than to have contact with his children. Also, we just recently had a child support hearing and he had to pay more child support.
So anyway, he filed the case. Child abduction unit contact me, reach out to me. I was so scared. I don't want to lose my kids. So I got to get back to California to get this sorted out because I did not abduct my children. I just flee domestic violence because it was just too bad for me.
When the district attorney office reached out to me and I read his declaration statement, it was a bunch of bullshit. I had to get there to advocate and fight for this shit that he put in his declaration statement because it was a bunch of false accusations that just doesn't make sense.
Came back, I moved back to California to get this situation sorted out. We have a few cases. Minor counselor got on a case. Next thing you know, custody evaluator got on case. I end up having to pay for the custody evaluation, of course. Had our evaluation at the courthouse because I had to be there in person. It was the most uncomfortable place to be in. And when I say that, because he would bring his partner to court hearings, he would bring his partner to custody evaluation. And when I got there first, I got there early, I got there on time, I got there first. I was already in the lobby. Next thing I know, he came and his partner came and they sat right behind me. It was the most uncomfortable thing ever. And I ended up moving. I moved to the other side because I was like, I can't close to you guys. Just give me my space.
Keep in mind, the father and I have not seen each other since I left. This was the first time, and it was uncomfortable.
So I moved to the other side, and I'm just waiting patiently. I'm with my kids. I'm waiting patiently for the evaluator to come out. Like, help, come out, hurry up! I don't want to be here, in here. So the custody evaluator finally came out. He saw me first, and we just did the back and forth thing. Did the interview the kids and stuff. I did my best. I hold it together. My head was hurting. My head was pounding. I was hungry. I was tired. Because I had to drive there, then I ended up having to drive all the way back. It was a lot. It was so intense that I did not want to be there, but I had to. And when my daughter recognized the new partner and she noticed her, then she was like, she wanted to give her a hug. So, I'm not here to be petty or anything. I don't have time for that. My focus is get this evaluation done. My focus is my children. So I let her hug my daughter because I'm like, it's no big deal. You can hug her. It's fine. But, I still, after that, I just kept my space. I was like, I need to keep my space. I don't want to be near none of them. So I'm just happy that was over with. We had a court hearing, and it is what it is. Court hearings is court hearings. So fast forward off, minor counselors is off the case, and now it's just us trying to figure out, get to agreement to work this out, and it's just not getting better at all.
We do have current court orders in place, but the father continues to violate those court orders, not prioritizing our children's best interests, and continue to interfere with my calls in my parenting time, and not respecting boundaries, verbal communication. It continues to happen, which led us to where we are now. As I mentioned earlier in this video, we had mediation before the court hearing, but we could not reach an agreement because what he was requesting was not what we discussed, and it's not in our children's best interest. So yes, I have to advocate and hope and pray that those changes does not take place. Another court hearing next year.
Now I'm going to talk about the new partner. I was in communication with her, keeping updates and stuff, but it gotten so bad because this person, this new partner, does not know how to respect boundaries. I made it clear to her. I made it clear from the very moment of what I had to experience with the first partner. I'm the children's mother. Please respect that. I made some little few guidelines. It was just probably like 5 guidelines. These women don't care. They just don't care. The communication was not good. She's yelling at me like those big bold cap words you send someone, just like the father is doing me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not about to deal with this. Just got to a point where we even have it out. I had reached out to her. I'm like, look, this is what my kids is telling me. I don't like it because I had enough. I've been very nice to her. I've been very respectful of her. And all I care about is my children. I did cuss her out because when you mistreat my children, that is a problem. But I did block communication after that because I realized, yes, you can use that against me in court. That's fine. I don't care. But I said what I said. You mistreat my kids, it's not gonna happen. They did told me, she's being nice to them and stuff. So maybe I had to really cuss her out for that shit to stop. Yeah, his new partner, we don't talk. It's not good. And I had to learn my lesson too. Not to tell the other partner what happened because they don't care. I did tell her everything that I went through. And I learned from that. And the reason why is because they have to go through that. They have to see for themselves. And basically the same thing that I told her what I went through, she basically did the opposite. I had to step in because I had to let the other partner know, you're not the children's mother. I am the mother. And I'm a good ass mother. And you ain't gonna take my place. I take care of my kids. But my thing is that some of these women, they don't care. They're like, oh, what happened to you is what happened to you. We don't give a fuck. I can change them. I'm better than you. Okay, it's her problem. That's not my problem, though. But there are some women that just like, oh, well, I'm sorry, what happened to you? But that doesn't mean it's going to happen to me. Well, okay. You'll see. He's not showing his true colors right now, but you will see. You will see. And that's where I learned my lesson from. If he has new partners, that's on him. But I learned to just not have communication with them. You can't. From my situation, no. You have a new partner, that's for you. My focus is the children. We have agreements in place that we both sat down and discussed. That was taken care of. Now we're here again. He's not following court orders. The verbal communication is really bad. It does get to me though, And the only thing that gets to me is when the father degrade me or like I'm worthless, calling me out my name and stuff, making me feel less than a parent, making his partner feel like she's the parent and putting me down more or less. I go through that and it's really hard. It's hard to keep it all together, when I'm falling apart, but I'm just keeping it together. And it's hard. I'm going to share a few lists of verbal communication that the children's father would message me. And here they are. You are sorry? You selfish woman. How ignorant can you be? It's pointless talking to you. You don't have to overreact. You are sick in the head. You need help. You want to act like the victim? You better leave my partner alone. I'm going to tell you again. Leave her alone. So you're going to be childish? You are getting out of hand. You didn't like that I mentioned their grandma got a new puppy. You selfish woman. Oh, this is the type of stuff I have to deal with. And here are the questions that he be questioning the children, which he's not supposed to. But here's a few. Mommy, car crash. Mommy, car is red. Where do you live? You know, these things used to hurt me. And it's so hard to deal with this type of stuff. And now, you know, it still hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts because it's like a cycle. It keeps happening over and over and over again. So when someone constantly tell you something, it does affect your emotional well-being. But you know what? This is the type of verbal communication I have to deal with. It's really bad. This really sucks for my children because they are put in the middle. As a single parent, I'm doing the best I can to advocate for them, being the healthy parent and showing them what healthy behaviors are. When I mean triangulation, I mean the children's father always had to insert a third party into the situation. And what I mean, it could be his partner, it could be his family, it could be his friends. Like when the kids have to talk to him on FaceTime call, he would have his family all over the FaceTime call. He will have his partner being shown in the FaceTime call. It's just to get under my skin. It's his way to get a reaction out of me. He would send me a message, oh, my partner needs surgery. Oh, I gotta take my partner to the hospital. Oh, I'm out of my mind. Always his partner. It's always somebody. It's always an excuse. And the first time, for example, when he first did that, when he said, oh, I'm out of my mind, I had to take my partner to the hospital, I was very upset. I was, because I'm like, you're supposed to follow the court orders and you're not. And I learned from that experience not to communicate, not to respond to his messages when he does that. And I don't. That was my learning experience, because it kept happening. It kept happening. It's like a repeated pattern of behavior. It got to a point where, you know what, I'm like, you're gonna do whatever you can to make me jealous. When he sent me a message talking about, I'm mad his mother got a dog. Why would I be fucking mad at your mother for getting a dog? I don't give a shit. I'm going, it will not stop. He wants me to be jealous so bad. He just got to a point where, you know what? Don't respond. Document. And ignore. Try his hardest to make me like jealous of his new partner. Like, I am not jealous at all. No one can come, no one can compete with this. I am my own lane. I do my own thing. I focus on what I have going on. I'm not worrying about other people and what he got going on. I made it clear to him so many times, I don't care about your personal life. I'm not interested in your personal life. So you're not gonna make me jealous. You can't make me jealous because I'm not jealous. I have my own life to focus on. If you think your relationship will make you so happy when you're empty inside and you still can't face accountability, I'm not gonna be jealous of you because you're empty. You have no soul. I'm whole. I heal. So you can't take nothing from me because I got my life back together. I'm back who I am. I'm happy within myself. And you just can't make me jealous. If it doesn't concern our children, I don't give a shit. If it's not about our children, I don't want to hear from you. And I did reach out to his mother too, to let her know, how my children feels about what's going on. But she blocked me, I block her. So I wanted to advocate for my kids because my kids love their grandparents' house. So they like going over there. They tell me about it all the time. So I need to make sure that my kids are good, and I'm letting them know what's going on. She blocked me, I block her. It is what it is. You block too.
I made contact because it concerning my children's well-being and safety, but don't do what I do. Going no contact is for a reason, but she's bad blocked.
I don't have any communication with that family. I don't and never will. He still brings her to exchanges and all this stuff, trying to make me jealous or feel some type of way. I don't have time for this. There's a lot of stuff going on exchanges too, where documenting and recording for my safety because there's just so much going on. I had to file a post report because my safety, that's a safety concern. You would think that it would be over with. Like, he has a whole new partner. Like, he's in a whole new relationship and he just won't leave me alone. I communicate when it's strictly about the kids, but I hate the exchanges because I have to see this person, and that's the only way he has access to me, is the exchanges. And trying to protect my safety, very important. I don't want him knowing where I'm at. No. The exchanges gives me anxiety. I hate being there, but I have to because, of course, I have to do it. You know, if I don't do it, I lose my kids, and I don't want that to happen. So I have to continue doing court order exchanges. Would be nice, you know, to have like a third party exchanges would be great, but I'm kind of like by myself, so yeah. I'm still record, make sure that I'm not being followed. Keeping a close eye on that because that's very important, because I don't want to be followed. Does that exchanges, I just click record, document, that's it. It's just scary. It's very scary. It has more stricter provisions for him to follow, and he don't want to follow that, and to make it more harder for me. And it is just a safety concern, and I don't feel safe, and I have to do my best to advocate it for court. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try, but yeah, it's just, you know, it's not good. I want to make it clear I am in a safe place, and I'm trying to keep that safe place. I am in a program which is here in California. It's called the Safe at Home program. I am a participant. Keeping my place safe is very important. If you can get in the program, if that fits your situation. Here's the word of mouth. Next, I want to talk about professionals. So yes, I did have support from professionals. I had support from my therapist at the time. I did have teachers writing statements and advocating for me and the kids. I also had my therapist writing a statement advocating for the kids. I also had doctors, the kids' doctor, write a statement and advocate for me. So I did have these professionals to help support my case. It was a blessing, and I'm thankful for their support. I really am. They know who they are. The teachers, the staff at my kids' school, they know who they are, who supported me, the doctors, my therapist, the children therapist, they know who they are. Thank you. I appreciate your support and for advocating for me and the kids. I'm really thankful for that. My therapist left. She had a new organization, and I was so sad when my therapist left. I did not thought, I was just like, what is I'm going to do? How I'm going to move forward with this? I can't do this alone. So yeah, she was my biggest support, and I do miss her a lot, but I'm just thankful that she was there. She was there. My therapist was there for me. She was there for me throughout these court battles. She gave me the tools that I need to help regulate my emotions when I'm going through court exchanges. She really supported me and my kids. She really did, and I'm so thankful for that. Based on that, I recently had another therapist, but my therapist had to leave. I have to do this all by myself again, but I'm just doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. And when I mention abuse, I'm talking about sexual, mental, emotional, financial, the list goes on. That is what I'm talking about. Abuse. It all falls under domestic violence. And it's just not good. But yeah, it got to a point where he would just it's like he just hates me so bad. He doesn't want the best for me. He would do anything to sabotage anything or use against me. That's just who he is. And I remember when my graduation was coming up, the kids will be attending my graduation. It's a co-order, and he sent me a message talking about I was going to request that 3-day weekend, but I guess I, wait till my next visitation and all this stuff. And I'm like, he would do anything to try to sabotage my moment, but I did not let that get to me. It's difficult to deal with an unhealthy co-parent like that. There's no such thing as healthy co-parenting in my situation. We live in 2 separate households. We do our own thing, but no matter what, our children's safety is a priority. Our children's health is a priority. But yes, we do everything separate. We don't celebrate together at all, period. And there was a time where I do invite him to the kids' graduation and stuff, and events that they have. He just doesn't want to participate, and I'm not about to force or make someone participate when if you don't want to be involved in your children's anything, that's on you. So it's up to him if he wants to participate at night. I'm not about to feed him a bottle or give him a spoon. I'm not his mother. I'm not his babysitter. And I'm not going to give him a pacify. That is not my job. My job is my kids. And I'm not about to take care of a third person. Absolutely not. Father and I use the Apple software to do FaceTime calls. We use a third-party communication app, which is Talking Parents. We use that to have communication regarding. So I'm gonna go in a little bit about my court hearings, but not in detail. But yeah, each of my court hearings never goes well. When I attend these court hearings, I am often ridiculed, and I hope I say that right. In the hearings, I'm often not believed. I still feel not heard about the father versus about what's best for our children. And I continue to advocate. I continue to do the best I can in these hearings. I do not have a lawyer. I am self-represented, and I have done consultation. I talk to every lawyer. It's more about profit. It's not about advocating what's right, what's fair, and what's in the best interest of the children. And that is why I self-represent myself. I feel like my voice is the only way I can advocate for my children. In my experience, the court system fails to protect women and children. No one understands what type of abuse I'm going through. No one understands post-separation abuse. No one understands what narcissism But I'm just saying, reason why I mention that is because of the patterns of behaviors I've been documenting over the years. It's a clear description of what that person is, but I don't say it in court. I never mention it in court. I don't bring it up to the kids. I never mention it to the kids. But this is just what it is. This is what I'm going through. You can't go in a courtroom calling the other parent a narcissist, or you can't be attacking them or anything. You have to stay calm. You have to keep your composure. You have to stick to the facts. And no matter what the other parent does, or they throwing stones at you, false accusations or lies and stuff, you have to stay calm no matter what. And it has been difficult for me. I gotten better though. I have gotten a lot better. I have. So I improve a lot, and it took a lot. That's why therapy is so important, because it helps me. My therapist, she really helped me to get it together, stay calm no matter what. And it's not easy. It's difficult. And I need to share it because there's somebody having difficult problems in their relationship or going through the same thing, and you never know what type of person it is. Do your research. Focus on the pattern and the behaviors. look for those red flags, because that is serious. The court order us meet and confers. Basically, we meet to resolve issues outside of court. During these meet and confers, I have to sit there and listen to what he has to say, and the stuff that he says is very manipulative and very controlling. But I just sit there and take notes. One of the things that he said that brought to my attention was he wanted me to move back to where he's currently living at, like where he lives at. And I said to myself, hell no. I don't give a shit how much rent you pay. Yeah, he was just going on talking about how much rent he pays and, what the prices is and, all this. I don't give a shit. What does this got to do with our children? I am not moving back to where you are so you can ruin my life, stalk me, harass me, bother me, sabotage my jobs. I'm not moving near you. I don't want to be near you. I want to keep my distance away from you as much as possible. I just don't understand how it's not getting in his brain that I'm not moving with you. I don't want to be with you. We are done. We are over. There's nothing between us anymore. We are done. Our focus is our children. I do not want to be near you so you can ruin my life. It is stand 10 toes because I have kids to take care of, but it does take a lot out of you. And when you get to the court hearing, it's a lot more because you're dealing with court professionals, you're dealing with the judge, you have to stay calm, and this other parent just keep saying lies, and it's just not true. And yeah, it's a lot. I came a long way though. People don't know that I have been in therapy a lot because that is my only way that I can vent and talk about things. But now I kind of wish my therapist was still here because this is a lot. But unfortunately, it's okay. I'm gonna get through it, but it's hard. But I'm gonna get through it because I have kids. But yes, we didn't reach an agreement. We have court next year, and I'm just sharing my story because somebody needs to hear it. I've been going through this for years. The other parent is proposing totally doesn't align with what we discuss. It's just not in our children's best interest. And I know I'm not the only one going through this. There's so much parents going through it. But I'm just sharing that be careful who you have children with. Be careful who you fall in love with. If I can just go back, I would. But I'm just thankful that I have my kids because they're the blessing out of the toxic, horrible relationship. But if I could go back and do it again, I would not be with the children father. But people don't show you who they are until they got you. So yeah. But I love to give them chance after chance, and it just got worse and worse. So yeah. But yeah, I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm not sharing this video for sympathy, validation. I'm not. Because once this video click off, I'm gonna be a strong mama again. I'm gonna get back on my feet. I'm gonna pretend like nothing happens because that's just who I am. And I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do next. Live my normal life. Children, they are the ones that give me the strength to keep going. I really came a long way when it comes to these court hearings. I really have, to where I am. Because before I was not calm, I filed a whole bunch of stuff with the court, and it was just so much. And now I'm learning to just follow the facts, what's the issues, and get it over with. It's not easy dealing with a difficult co-parent. who always prioritize, I'm sorry if I said it wrong, whatever, prioritize himself versus what's best for the children. They love the other parent, they love their father, and that's their right. It's their right to have a relationship with them. That's their right. I'm not here to take that away from them. But what I will do is advocate what's best for them. I hate being in the court system. I do. I really wish I could have a healthy co-parent to co-parent, but nothing is healthy in my situation. Nothing. Nothing is healthy about it. I still have to document everything. I don't react to his bait. That's very important because he will bait me. Just like Rinsely, he just sent me a horrible message saying I'm sorry. No, not like apologizing, I'm sorry. Calling me sorry, like I am sorry. Like I'm a sorry person. So it's just things that I just don't react to, and that's important. You cannot react to stuff like that. You just can't, because the judge sees everything. And if they don't get their needs, their wants, then you're in the root of fire, because they're gonna put all that anger on you, and that's what I'm going through now. So it's just really bad. Prepare for the holidays, because last year I did not talk to my kids for Christmas. I cried. I was so hurt. I was so sad. I did not talk to my kids for Thanksgiving last year. I cried. I was so sad. So it's just things like this. Worry for my kids a lot when they leave me. And I just pray when they come back. And when they do, I'll be like, oh, thank you. They're back safe. But yeah, when they're away from me, I do worry a lot. They'll leave this Friday. They're gonna be gone for half of the winter break, and I'm worried. I am worried. But I pray they have a wonderful time over there, and just pray that they get back. And I just did my prayers too, because I had my moments, so I had to pray about it. Son left me this before he left. It was like, I miss you, Mom. And with the little sad little booklet, he likes making these booklets. Like, he does make these booklets. And then he made another one. I will miss you, Mom. So yeah, it's just cute with the heart and smiley face. And then he got me a sprinky little face. I just think it's cute. And my kids does make me art and creativeness, and I love it. Like, they're on break, and I just see them. And I don't want people to think, oh, it's just petty stuff, you'd be fine. No, this is not petty stuff, people. This is real life shit. Like, this is real. It's real. You would think the other parent will leave me alone and move on, but it doesn't stop. He could be in a whole new relationship but still bother me, still put me down, still cussing me out, still want to know where I'm at, still not following court orders. It's ongoing stuff. This stuff is real. This situation I'm going through is real. It's stressful. It's overwhelming. It's time consuming, because it does take my time. And no matter what, I have to keep it together 100%. Because I don't want my kids to be affected. So when you have children, you focus. Your priority is the children. That is my priority. And I don't want them to see me like that. Because last year, my last court hearing, I was out of it. My kids saw me broken. My kids saw me cry. My kids saw me so weak. I was so at my lowest point. My kids saw it. They saw it. Once the hearing was over with, they saw me broken, down. They gave me so much hugs that they told me it's okay. It's gonna be better. They was there. They was my support. They was the support that I needed. Now, no, they didn't hear the hearing. Let me make it clear. They didn't hear the whole entire hearing. They didn't hear none of that. What I'm saying, after the hearing. After the hearing, they was my support system. That was what I needed. And then, yes, I did talk to my family about it. You know, they are aware of it, but they don't know the specific details of it, but they are aware of, you know, what I've been going through. It's like it takes so much of you, but they was there for me, and that is why I don't want them to see me like that again. That's why they're not here. I was quiet. I had my court mediation today. I was in that bathroom. I had my moment. That was my moment to let it all out, and I did. I let it all out. I prayed about it. I don't want my kids to see me like that again. It was bad. I almost gave up. I almost fucking gave up. People don't know that dealing with a difficult co-parent and dealing with post-separation abuse after you leave an abusive relationship, it continues. It doesn't stop, especially when you have kids. I can't go no contact. I have children, and they still have to see their father despite of everything that's happening to me. Some people ask, well, when you gonna get a restraining? I try that. I tried to get a restraining order. I did, and it got approved, but then when I got to the hearing, it got denied. So I just been documenting until I have a strong evidence to get another restraining order. Right now, if it ain't physical, I don't have a knot on my head, they don't care. So I'm back to square one. I'm just documenting everything. And all these police reports that I filed, yes, these are part of my documentation too. But it has to be strong in order to get a restraining order. And I've been doing documenting. It sucks, but this is what I live in. This is the reality. I did everything I'm supposed to do by the book, step by step. It's not strong enough. I even talked to a domestic violence organization who helps women with restraining orders and stuff. I already had my letdown. When I filed a restraining order, yes, it got approved, but when I went to the judge, oh, you don't have enough evidence. Got tossed, dismissed. I had my moment where I was let down, and I had to do what I had to do at that time. No one believed me, so I left. I fled because I was unsafe. This is real. And I don't want anyone to go through this, but we go through it. Women go through this. Men go through it too. Narcissism is in both women and men. So just be careful who you have children with. And it's hard because people don't show their red flags that quickly. They're really good at hiding that shit. They really are. Because the past is the past, and I'm trying to move on from that, but it does come back over and over again when people ask, they want to know, and it comes back, and it's just so hard to talk about it. And I've been dealing with this for a long time, and when it's happening over and over again, it does get to you. But I have to tell myself that I am not worthless. I am not sorry. I am a good mother, and people around me sees it. Teachers see it, therapists see it, doctors see it. Their support is why it's important, because they know I am a good parent. I am a good mother. I've been through a lot, and it's still ongoing. It won't stop. It won't end until the kids are 18. Here in California, the laws are, I think it's 14 when they have a say, but sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It just won't officially end until they're 18, just put it this way. Everything stops when it's 18. And when they turn 18, Lord, I pray I live to see 18, because I'm going to have a toast when they turn 18. I'm going to have a toast, and I'm going to take my black ass a vacation, because I need a mental vacation there is to get away from all this. But yeah. And they might see this video, and that's okay. But I did the best I could. I love my kids. I do anything for them, because I wouldn't be the woman I am without my children. I'm gonna make that clear. My kids are my biggest support system. They love me. They care about me. They help me whenever I'm in need. Women are losing their children, are losing their life, because they're going through so much of this stuff that I'm going through. More worse, or who knows their situation. I have to speak up, because I feel like I need to be the voice. And my life is not picture perfect. No. But I am happy, I would say that. I am happy because I chose to be happy. I'm happy because I chose my children. I chose to put them first. What's not happy is this court case and dealing with the children's father. Yeah, but that doesn't going to stop my life. I'm still going to live, because I have to. I have kids to take care of. I just have to play the long game. I have to wait it out until the kids are 18. And like I said, I pray I live to see when they're 18 or older. I pray. But I'm going to have a toast. I'm going to go on a vacation when they turn 18, because I don't have to deal with their father anymore. And I just pray about that. But I have to play the long game. I have to play it out. And I have to continue to do what's best for the kids. I have to. You have to live and you learn. So, and that, I'm glad I did, because it made me aware of men to avoid. So yeah, watch those red flags. That's very important. Just be careful who you have children with. Get to know the person. Educate yourself on narcissists. Educate yourself on post-separation abuse. When leaving an abusive, toxic relationship, just learn from my mistake. It's difficult to leave. It took me about 5 to 7 times to leave my relationship. And when I finally left, I never looked back. Do not go back. Learn from me. You start seeing those red flags. I know you love the person. You hoping they would change. They won't change. Once they show you that they're abusive, leave. Just accept that that person's never going to change. They're abusive. You gotta leave. You have to leave. And I just want people to learn from my mistakes. Don't stay in the relationship for the sake of the kids. I did that because I wanted to keep my family together, and it broke me. And being where I am now, it's more healthier for my children. When you leave, just don't tell the other person or your partner that you're leaving. You got to do that quietly. Get your ducks together quietly. Leaving is the most dangerous part. But for me in my situation, I did that quietly. And then when he told me he was seeing another woman, good for you. Hey, I'm moving out tomorrow. So that was it. It was like, hey, you do you, I do me. It was a win-win for both of us. We both got what we wanted. So that's how I was able to leave my situation, leave my relationship at that time. Use the domestic violence hotline. Learn about safety so you can keep yourself safe. Don't stay in that situation. You can do it. Don't feel like you can't do it. You can. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Oh yes, do you like my festive? It's so cute. I have my little deer and my little deer festive thing. So my kids has like a school festive day for the last week of school. They're doing like Christmas spirit stuff. So I have my little thing. I'm dressing up like them. Ta-da! Just wanted to share my story and hope it helps someone. So thank you for watching. Hey y'all, so I just had court today and it did not go well, but the things that I was requesting did not go in my favor at all. But the only thing that was granted was my concerns regarding exchanges, which was my safety. But it was favor towards father, but I had to agree with that, to just hopefully that this will more likely resolve exchanges issues. But he's gonna do whatever he wants, and that's just what it is. They still give him chance after chance, and it's really frustrating how the other parent can just get away with this stuff and not be held accountable for it. He does not follow the court orders, but he still gets away with these things, and it's very frustrating. But I did the best I could. I did the best I could advocating for my kids. So hopefully he would do his part. It is what it is. And I don't have no control of the orders or the outcome. He's complaining about me requesting or modifying, but you're not following the court orders. And this is why we here, because you're not doing your part. If you do your part as a father, we would not be in court again. And still, he's just not held accountable. He just gets a slap on the wrist and he gets to do whatever he wants. And it's hard. It's really hard. What bothers me the most, his excuse that he had was just, it wasn't a good excuse. But now you're changing your story, like, oh, this sob story. And it's really sad that the court would just side and listen to him with whatever he has to say versus what I'm here advocating for. So now we're gonna see how this new arrangement for exchanges come to place. So we're gonna see. Now, if it was me not following the orders, I would lose my kids. I just have to do the best I can, continue being that safe parent for my kids. I talk to people who I trust a lot about it, and that helps, me as well, because it just reassures me that I'm not alone going through this, and that it's okay to talk about it, and which I did. Just have to sit back and continue documenting. I did the best I could. I held it together. I did not have my squishy with me, but I did use my pair of socks and balled it up, and that helps a lot too. It's not easy. It's not easy going through this. This is what my outcome is. But I can say that even though the hearing did not go as I hoped, I had to accept that. So things are pretty still solid within our agreement. Nothing has been changed there, but there has been a little modification regarding exchanges, so we're going to see how that goes. I'm still going to document, record, and hopefully continue to build a case or an evidence so that one day I can get the restraining order. But until then, I'm just thinking this through strategically. And I know if I say it right or not, but whatever. But I'm just thinking this through. The other party was complaining about, we're going back and forth in court, blah, blah, blah. But we're here because you're not following the court orders and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a father, and we wouldn't be in this situation if that was the case. So basically, you know, certain things I just had to like bite my tongue on and just keep the focus on the kids, which I did. What happens in the dark will come to the light, and it does take time. My situation, it does take time. I have to just pray about it and just do the best I can for my kids. So here's an update.